How's it going, Midnight Strikers? Welcome back to your weekly verses, and I apologize right up front if my voice ends up sounding a little bit more hoarse than usual. It's not exactly in the best of shape today, so posted a little bit of things on my Facebook. Didn't even know if I was going to record anything, but hey, you know what? I got some free time, I'm bored, so might as well give it a shot. Anyways, this week is going to be a very special week in terms of versus episodes because I am posting not one, but 2 Versus episodes for my double Versus holidays of 2013. And basically, even though these 2 Versus episodes have nothing to do with Christmas, it kind of rectifies the decision I made not to post a Versus episode during finals week. So, on with the Versus, tonight's topic and comparison is going to be between 2 critically acclaimed video games from my top 2 favorite game series of all time, except for Metal Gear Solid, Assassin's Creed, and Uncharted. Now, these series are just top of the line for me, kind of fluctuating back and forth between second and third favorite series. You know, one day I'll like Uncharted better, the other day I'll like Assassin's Creed better, so I'm kind of split and torn between the two. So, these 2 games are going to be the sequels to the originals, Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 2 respectively. Both came out in 2009, Assassin's Creed going on to aspire a yearly sequel franchise, while Uncharted just kind of hung back a little bit, releasing games on their bi-yearly schedule, or tri-yearly, I believe it is. Every 3 years, I want to say? No, 2 years. It's 2 years. So hopefully Uncharted 4 comes out in 2014, let's hope. So it'll be 3 years this time, because they made The Last of Us. Anyways, when it comes to Assassin's Creed and Uncharted, both of these games are very different in nature, but they're also very similar. They hold a lot of similarities when it comes to the climbing mechanics, a lot of the stealth, and even some of the shooting. I mean, you can manually aim in Uncharted, and I mean, you can even manually aim in Black Flag, Assassin's Creed, but that feature sadly wasn't added yet in Assassin's Creed 2. You had the pistol, and you could lock onto enemies, and that's just about it, actually. So, when it goes to shooting, obviously I would choose Uncharted 2 over Assassin's Creed 2, but Assassin's Creed 2 was in a completely different time period, so they really shouldn't have pistols at all. They just kind of added it in as a luxury item, basically, to take out your enemies in style. So when it comes to that, they did a really good job on making it seem and feel realistic by making it a little bit longer for the load times, as well as for the reloading times, excuse me, not load times, and the firing times. You actually have to line up your sights and everything. So it's kind of like a hand pistol. It's really an awesome thing, if you think about it, for an assassin to use, especially back in Renaissance Italy. And like I said, when it comes to Ezio versus Nathan Drake, I'm going to have to go with Ezio. I'm sorry. His charm, his wit, his looks even, I'm straight by the way, just kind of add up to make him the better character in comparison with Nathan Drake. Of course, Nathan Drake has all those things as well, but Ezio has the Italian accent and can speak in Italian, which is where I learn most of my Italian swear words from, is Assassin's Creed 2, and Brotherhood, of course. But when it comes to these 2 games, the climbing also is very similar, as I said before, but you actually have to press X on the Nathan Drake, on the Uncharted 2 version of the climbing. So you actually have to press X in order to hop over gaps, whereas in Assassin's Creed 2 it just feels a little bit more stiff, but with that stiffness comes the precision that is needed to climb over and leap over tall gaps, basically. And, of course, parkour over different things, over different barriers and obstacles is what I'm trying to say. So the climbing is a little bit more precise in Assassin's Creed 2, but it's, I don't know, it just feels smoother in Uncharted 2, so it's a toss-up with that one. But then again, I'd probably give the nod to Assassin's Creed 2 because of the interactivity between everything, including buildings, including signposts. Everything, pretty much, can be interacted with or climbed, especially if you have, like, the little brick path. You can definitely see it. Same with Uncharted 2, but I found that there was more interactivity with Assassin's Creed, especially seeing as it's an open-world game versus Uncharted's linear pattern. So when it comes to refinement of its predecessor, Assassin's Creed 2 definitely has it, though, because Assassin's Creed, let's face it, Assassin's Creed 1 was kind of a mess. It was really repetitive. It was a really innovative and a really unique idea at the time that hadn't really ever been done before, but it was really repetitive. the mission structures were lacking. There was only 4 different kinds of missions, and it only made you do 2 out of the 3 missions in order to get to the fun, awesome assassination missions. The climbing was a little bit stiff, as it was in Assassin's Creed 2, but it's smoother in AC2. So, Assassin's Creed 2 fixed all of that. All of this was pretty much refined and perfected in its sequel. So, Assassin's Creed 2 had really big shoes to fill already, really a lot of work to do, and Ubisoft definitely pushed it to the next mile by looking at different forums and stuff. And when it comes down to Uncharted, though, really all they had to do was fix the graphics and the combat system. Maybe add in a final boss, which they did. And the plot device is just amazing. I think that Uncharted 2 definitely has a better story than Assassin's Creed 2, and that's saying a lot. It's just kind of neck and neck between these two. I can't really say which game is better, but when it comes to the story, like I said, Uncharted 2 definitely has it down, especially with the plot mechanic that they use, where they begin with Nathan Drake on a train, bleeding, and you have to fight for your life to run off that train, to climb it and run off the train and live, basically, survive. And then you flash back to tell how it all happened, and then you eventually lead back up to that point. It's like, I'm going to make the comparison, I don't know if I did in my initial review of it, but it's like the Disney movie Emperor's New Groove, basically. I know it's a kid's movie and everything, but they use that exact same plot mechanism, plot mechanic, whatever, plot twist, way of telling the story to actually make the story go along forward, move it forward. And it works perfectly in that movie. It works perfectly in Uncharted 2. It's a very wise decision, especially. And Assassin's Creed 2 has kind of like a linear pattern, and it's kind of jumping all over the place in dates. Like, one minute you'll be like really young Ezio, and then all of a sudden you'll be like 20 years in the future, and Ezio will all of a sudden have a deeper voice. And it's like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially for the game itself, with the animus and everything, just jumping ahead to find its goal and meet its ends. But when it comes to actual storytelling, I think that Uncharted 2 definitely has it down. So the verdict between these two games, for me personally, it's a toss-up, honestly. I gave both of these games perfect 10s. I think they are both equally as good in their own right. So for me, I like both of them. So, but I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. You need to write me down in the comment section, but only if you want to. Which game do you like better? Have you played both of these games? Do you like them? Which series do you like better? You can elaborate in the comment section down below, as Versus is generally made to develop a little bit of discussion between my subscribers and my users. So, with that, thank you very much for watching. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.